Come on.
We should have got him.
Hold on, give me like 10 seconds. Wow. So one of the things you can do when you're at Champoeg Park, they've got a really great trail that goes along the river. It's 2 miles long and it leads to the small town of Butteville. And I'm in Butteville. I think this may actually be the only building in Butteville. Anyway, the Butteville store is fantastic. It's a destination. We hike down there every time we come and visit. It's kind of like an old malt shop, ice cream parlor. You can get sandwiches. You can get drinks down here. It's fun, and we hit it every time we come here.
Hi.
Hi.
Speaking of sandwiches, our lunch is ready.
All right, my lunch is ready. We'll catch you later. We are at, I think we're in downtown Butteville.
We are.
It only has one store, and it's the Butteville County store. Very cute. You're walking back in time. It's like an old malt shop. They have ice creams. They have sandwiches and stuff. We stopped in and had lunch today. It's pretty terrific. Recommend. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, highly.
So tell me about Butteville.
So Butteville is right on the Willamette River. And back in the day, it was a stop for the riverboat captains, and they would pick up supplies here and drop off supplies. But anyway, so it was a booming town, river town.
An actual riverboat destination.
Yeah, pretty cool. Rob took some pictures, I believe, that he'll be showing. So
I'll show you some pictures. I actually took a picture of the sign that said, "This used to be a riverboat town."
Yeah, so
Shocking.
pretty cool. So I mean, I guess we're going to tie that to our pirate because water. So
Water. There we go.
there you go. Well, good morning. We just got up at 7 o'clock in the morning, taking the dogs out for their walk. It's about 30 degrees outside, so it's freezing. But anyway, behind me is the Willamette River, and this is where the steamboats would come down river. Butteville, which we went to the store, is just 1.5 miles down the river there. So, but they would come through here. It would be nice if we had access down there, but it's too cold and I'm not going down that bank. So, but anyway, it's beautiful. It is a very crisp, beautiful morning. But I'm ready to go back in the trailer because it's cold. Now that we're back in the warmth of the trailer, after taking our walk with the dogs, we can give you a little fun facts about Champoeg. And
Fun facts, you say?
fun fact, I love fun facts.
Go with the fun facts.
So anyway, Champoeg was settled in February 7th of 1841. I gotta go way back in history. This is old.
That's 18 years before Oregon became a state.
Yes, and funny you should mention that because Champoeg is famous for being the first rudimentary government in the area, which was considered what's called the French Prairie. It wasn't even the Oregon Territory, it wasn't anything, it was the French Prairie at that time. So Champoeg is famous for being the first provisional government in the area, which was known as the French Prairie. And May 2nd, 1843, they had a group of delegates. They were addressing the problem of the day, which was the attacks on their livestock by wolves. So that was the big problem of the day, and that's what their government came to be to help solve that problem.
If you got too many wolves, you got issues.
Well, you do. I mean, you need your livestock. You got to eat. You got to have milk. You know, I mean, that's kind of a big deal. So, anyway, they also petitioned that Champoeg be the capital of this new territory, but they didn't know who the territory belonged to, because the United Kingdom, still had their rights to it through Canada, and the United States was trying to get it. So the delegates from this area got together and they voted. It was 52 to 50 that it should be part of the United States. So thank you for those 52 people, or we would be in Canada right now. And, well, thank you, because...
Yeah, that'd be awkward, because we both have guns.
Right? And 4th of July is my favorite holiday, so it'd be really kind of weird. Anyway, so that's just kind of interesting. There is a monument in Champoeg that commemorates, God, I'm not speaking well, commemorates that this was the first provisional government in this area, which I think is kind of fascinating. So
it's kind of interesting.
Yep.
Okay. Fast forward to 1852, still a couple years before Oregon's estate. By this time, the Champoeg area had grown large enough that they had a ferry to shuttle people back and forth across the Willamette River. They had a warehouse that was owned by the Hudson Bay Trading Company. Speaking of Canada, and one of the trading companies I actually make fun of in my novels. So
yes, you do.
So they're not real popular, but yeah.
And a steamboat landing.
Oh, and a steamboat landing. I mean, that goes with the ferry, right? Ferry, steamboat.
Yeah, but in that time period, the Willamette River was seeing very high traffic from shipping, passengers, and all that. So it was a good drop-off point, and it was slated to be, because it was growing so big and it had just everything it needed to become a big city. However, tragedy struck in 1861.
Wolves?
No, no. The Willamette River flooded. It rose 55 feet above flood stage, and it wiped out the whole town. There was only 2 structures, actually I stand correct, 3 structures left standing, and 2 of them happened to be saloons, and the other one was a barn. So the residents of Champoeg fled uphill to higher ground to one of the prominent members of the town. His name was Mr. Robert Newell, and he, poor guy, very generous heart, nearly went bankrupt caring for the citizens of Champoeg, and that's when they decided, we're disbanding, we're just gonna move on and do our own thing. So,
but the flooding did take care of the wolf problem.
I think that was taken care of a long time ago. It became a pretty big city by then. Anyway, so if you visit Champoeg State Park, it is a heritage site. It's on the National Registry, which is kind of cool. But they have the actual Mr. Newell's house is still there, so you can go through his house. They moved the barn from the lowlands up to the hill and built a visitor center around that. And a fun little fact, if you're into that, during the summertime, the last Saturday of every month, they hold barn dances at the barn, which we were actually, many, many years ago, we camped there, and we got to go to the barn dance with our kids, and that was pretty fun.
It was fun. It was a hoedown.
It was fun. So it is.
And speaking of the Newell house, we actually, on our walk with the dogs in the morning, we passed by Kitty Newell's gravesite, which is right along the Willamette River. And at the time, we didn't know what it was, and we thought it might be haunted, and it was kind of dark out, so we chose not to visit. So,
well, that's funny you should say that, because it is considered on the National Registry of Ghost Towns, and
figures.
So haunted, I don't know, but it was foggy.
Come and camp,
cold.
and you can decide.
It was spooky that day, so we decided not to go check out the grave because we're chickens. So.
Not so much chickens. We have a profound respect for paranormal activity.
But if you're into that thing, hey, it'd be something to check out.
All right.
So those are your fun facts on Champoeg State Park. It's a beautiful park. I highly recommend you come visit if you're in the area. They do have really beautiful hiking, or not hiking, but walking trails, and you can ride your bikes on them, and it's just a really nice place.
Also, if you're a frisbee enthusiast,
enthusiast.
If you're one of those, they have a terrific frisbee golf course that we didn't get a chance to play while we were there, but we on one of our walks with the dogs, we kind of walked through it. Some really interesting holes and holes locations. One of the baskets at the end, they've got up on like a 6 foot tall, a huge stump, and it's cut off, and the basket is up, and then the side of the stump is cut into steps. So you've actually got to throw your frisbee up into the basket. And I've been on a couple of frisbee golf courses, and I hadn't seen that particular move before. So I'd like to play that sometime. So
You have frisbee golf?
I have frisbees. Yeah. Tell your brother.
Yes. Okay.
We've been together so long, we finish each other's
Sandwiches.
Hey, thanks for joining us again for another outdoor adventure.
And as always, please like, subscribe, and share, and always leave comments because we love to hear from you.
We love to hear from you. Hey, until next week, fair winds, my friends.
Bye.